Hello friends, welcome back to DigiTalk. This is my first video on cloud computing series, and in this video I am going to cover some basic questions of the beginners. Okay, so what is the career in cloud computing? Why companies are flocking to the cloud more than ever? What is my future on cloud computing, and what to learn, from where to learn, how to start, from where to start, what are the benefits of cloud computing? Okay, so I had a discussion with many engineers, specifically beginners, okay, and they were confused on about the cloud computing, if it is really required for us to learn the cloud computing, okay, and then if we learn, then what is our future, what exactly we need to learn, and if you wanted to learn, then from where we have to start, okay. So all of these questions I am going to address in this particular video, and then for ongoing series I will come up with more videos with how to sign up for a particular cloud computing service provider, and then how you can do some demos by your own. So now, when we talk about the career in cloud computing, so obviously it is in high demand, it is booming field, and there are a variety of job roles are available for this one, and there is a high earning potentials in this field. Okay, but I will come to this slide again. Before that one, we have to understand the basics of the cloud computing. When I'm talking about the basic, then what exactly is the meaning of cloud computing, and specifically in terms of benefits. So if the industries are shifting toward the cloud computing, then what exactly are the benefits they are getting from the cloud computing? So why they are shifting toward the cloud? Okay, so let us try to understand that one. Okay, so let us take a quick look on the data center. Okay, what exactly a data center? Because the most of the benefits that the industries are getting from the cloud computing is related with the data center. Okay, now if we talk about what exactly is a data center, the definition would be a data center is a building, a dedicated space within a building or a group of buildings used to house computer system and associated components, right? So that means whatever the applications that we use in our daily life, it is a kind of the application which is developed in certain programming languages, and they are running in somewhere in some softwares, and softwares are running in the hardwares, right? So for example, if we access some e-commerce website over the internet, okay, so that means that website is again an application. It may be interacting with the multiple system in the backend, like with the database for where it is storing its data, and then it has an integration with multiple partners, okay, but actually it is an application, right? So when I'm talking about the Amazon application, okay, if you are accessing the Amazon e-commerce website, that is an application which is a part of the Amazon organization, and it is running somewhere. So when I'm saying it is running somewhere, that means it is running somewhere on some softwares and hardwares, and where we place those softwares and hardwares in data center. Okay, so that means there would be a data center of Amazon, and all the applications of Amazon are running in the data center, where they have a multiple hardwares, multiple softwares. There would be certain engineers for supporting the application that we are going to cover in the next few slides. Okay, so that means they have a dedicated building, or there could be some dedicated space or dedicated floors in a building, right? Or maybe if they have a large client base, then they would have a different buildings for their data centers. As of today, like in enterprise world, the customer, the big organizations have multiple data centers, okay, that we called as a group of buildings, right, where their systems, softwares and hardwares are running. So this is specifically we called about a data center. Okay, now if we compare the cloud data center with the cloud data center, okay, then let us see a few basics of the traditional data centers. Okay, so what is traditional data center? That is managed by you, or you have given to your partners for the management, right? So what exactly it means? Let us suppose that we have a data center of Amazon in Singapore. Okay, that means there would be a separate building for that one, right? So, and you are accessing the maybe as an internal employee or an internal clients, they're accessing the data center maybe from the India location with the private connections, maybe from the US office with the private connections, maybe with the help of private connections from the UK office. There could be clients, right? They are accessing it over the public networks, like we are accessing the Amazon e-commerce website over the internet, right? So, and then apart from that one, there could be VPN. Okay, so VPN is, you can say it is about a software which is used to connect to your applications or to your data center securely, so that your data will be encrypted when it is transferring over the internet. Okay, so overall the conclusion is that you have a data center in a particular location, and then you have your offices are scattered around the world, and then you have a client who are also scattered around the world. They're accessing the data center applications from the public network, from the private networks, with the help of certain technologies like VPN for security and encryptions. Okay, but what is the main thing here to understand is that this complete data center, okay, and again that you have a security system in your data center as well, right? You have a lot of security components, firewall, switches, routers, gateways, and antivirus as well. They're in the software, hardware, and applications in the data center. Okay. And but what is the important thing to understand is that this is called a traditional owned network because this is managed by you and by your partners. Maybe you are given to a third-party partner for the management. Right? That means your organization is owning that one. So if I say about it that you are an insurance organization or if you are a financial institute, okay. So what is your core business? Your core business is the financial, right? Financial sector is your core business. If you're in an insurance sector, then the insurance is your core sector. The IT is not your core sector, right? But if you are managing this kind of a data center by your own, that means you are diverting from your business, right? You are unnecessarily putting the efforts in a technology which is really required for your organization, but you should not put your efforts because there are separate experts for that one. Those can manage that one. Right, you are putting your unnecessary efforts. You are doing a certain kind of a hiring for end-to-end tracing of your complete data center, which is managed by you or maybe your partners, and then they are putting their efforts there as well, right? So you need a certain kind of a solution where you should focus on your core business, right? So if I said if you are in a financial institute, then you should focus, your organization, your employees should focus on the financial institute's process, not on the IT part. Okay, and apart from that, there are a lot of things as well. There is a cost and there are other factors as well. Those need to be considered when we talk about the data center and cloud computing, right? So this is the traditional data center which is managed by you and by your organizations, and then employees and customers are using across the world with the help of laptop, PC, mobile applications from the different location, right? And now, can you imagine the size and cost of a data center? So what does it mean? Building. So as I said, that is either it is managed by you. When I talk about the traditional, most of the time it is managed by the organization. Those have the particular applications. Okay. So in a data center, you will have a building. There could be one building or there could be multiple buildings, or it could be in a single location or it could be in a multiple locations, multiple regions. Inside that building, you have multiple servers are running. Multiple storage are there, multiple racks are there to store your storage and servers. Then you have multiple ACs, right, running there to cool down all of your hardware items. Then you have a wiring inside your data center. Then you have a networking, and that is a complex, right? There is a lot of wires, networking, and a lot of servers, storage are there, right? It is a bit complex. You have a lot of switches for connectivity, and you have a electricity power, and then you have a backup for that as well, right? In case of outage of electricity, then you have a number of engineers are supporting there for your hardware, for your applications. You have a security for your applications, for your data centers as well, physical building, right? And then you have multiple applications are running then, and then again you have to maintain the licensing. Okay, so it's when we talk about a data center, now you can think about that. What all are the complexities are there for the management of a data center? Or even if you are going to build a data center for your organization, then how you think that how it is a complex process. You have to identify a location. That means you have to in which city you are going to open a data center. Then you have to identify the building, either you are going to take it on rent or whether you are going to purchase it. Then you have to go for the purchasing of the softwares, hardware, and then complete setup of the softwares and hardwares along with all the networking, building security, right? Building civil works, and then you have to hire the engineers. Then you have to deploy the engineers in the location, and then it is a completely support and maintenance process, right? For the complete monitoring of your data centers, monitoring of your applications, monitoring of your engineers, right? So this would be a very complex process when we talk about in terms of data center and the maintenance of applications, right? And this is not only about data center. Apart from data center, you have a disaster recovery as well. Disaster recovery is a replicate of your main data center, right? That is for the business continuity. That means if you have, suppose that you have a data center in Mumbai location, and if your building get collapsed due to fire or any other reasons or due to any natural disasters, right? So if you have a single data center, if that data center get collapsed due to any reasons, okay, that means your complete business is down, right? But this is not practically feasible, viable. So for that, whenever we create a data center, there would be a replicate DR as well, so that in case your primary data center can get down due to any reasons, you can switch over your application to the disaster recovery center. Okay, so that means now the complexity is double. The complexity that I was talking about some time back, it is a double because we have to go for another building and setup of another data center, which we called as a disaster recovery, right? So what are the ways to deal with such kind of a solution? Okay, where how to hide this kind of a complexity, whatever I have discussed so far. Okay, and the reason or you can say the answer of that is your cloud data center. Okay, so cloud data center is again the same data center as I have discussed in the traditional data center. Okay, but what is the difference is that it is managed by the CSPs, that is cloud service providers. Right. So now you or your partners are not managing any of your data centers. That means you don't need to go look for any building, for any security of your building, for purchasing of hardware, purchasing of softwares, then deployment of engineers, deployment of your hardware and softwares, and then maintenance of your buildings, maintenance of your engineers. You don't need to take care about that one because it is completely managed by a third-party software providers. Okay. And what you are doing is that you are just using the IT services pay-as-you-go pricing, okay, over the internet. That means you are purchasing the services from the cloud service providers, whatever you required, okay, which is called as a pay-as-you-go pricing services. That means on a rental basis, and you are accessing the application over the internet. Okay, so now the question would be how the applications are getting access over the internet. We have a hardware, we have a software, we have to create the virtual machines, we have to create the servers, we have to access the machines, we have to upload the data on cloud servers, we have to download the data from there, we have to run the applications. Then how we can do that? If I am saying that if the data center which is completely managed by a cloud service provider, we are just purchasing as an over the internet, okay, on the rental basis. That I am going to show in the next few slides how we can connect with the cloud and how we can access the application, what all are the tools are required for the connecting to a cloud data center, along with some examples. Okay, so now what we are doing here is instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power, storage, and database on as needed basis from a cloud service provider. That means you are purchasing, you're taking every services on rent from the cloud service provider, and you are paying a monthly rental of this one, either monthly, quarterly, yearly, whatever you have agreed, you are paying on base that is. So why it is useful? I will tell you a small example that, for example, I am running an application, okay, and I need during a peak time of my application, my memory utilization is 64 GB because, and what I'm saying that it is during the peak period. So if I'm saying that peak period is a day in a week, that means a single day in a week, I need the 60 GB of memory for my applications, but rest of the day, I need only the 10 GB of the memory, right? So if it is a traditional data center, then you don't have any option. You can't compromise with that one, right? Because you know that during the peak load, you need the 64 GB of RAM. That means you have to purchase the 60 GB of RAM, right? So you are in a traditional data center, you will purchase a 60 GB of RAM, and even the utilization of the 64 GB only for one day in a week, right? For the rest of the weeks or days, it is just sitting idle, right? But this is not the right case when we talk about the utilizations. We are just wasting the resources. So when we go to the cloud, what we can do is that for a single day, when we know that the utilization would be high for my applications, for that day, we will take the services, or you can say the RAM here, on rental basis for that particular day, and for rest of the days I will release my RAM, release my memory, so that I should not have to pay for that one. So that means for whatever time I'm utilizing that 64 GB of memory, either for 1 hour, for that peak period, 2 hours, 4 hours, I will pay for that period, and rest of the days of the week I will not have to pay anything for that one. And this is the beauty of your cloud computing, where you have to take every service, whether it is a server, storage, or whatever, database, your applications, you can take everything on rental basis. Okay, so now you can understand what are the benefit of cloud computing. It is a cost effective, right? Then remotely accessible. That means it is the services are running on some cloud service provider data center that you can access that remotely from anywhere. Okay, collaboration and productivity. You can access the applications, your software, and everything from anywhere. So you have a better collaboration between your engineers, those are situating across the world. And then you have a disaster recovery that you can create easily on the cloud data center that we will cover in the later part. Then you have a competitive edge. You have a now competitive edge because earlier you had to do a lot of investment in your data centers for the maintenance of that one. Now you can utilize that money at somewhere else. Okay, and even for the small businesses, it was not possible to set up the traditional data centers due to high cost. Now it is completely in the cloud, so the small business owners also can utilize the benefit of IT with the help of cloud computing. So you can do a lot of innovations. It is easy to scale anytime. You just put on the request on the cloud and then it will be scaled automatically for you. Faster deployment ho jayegi. And then you have a data and security. Lot of data and security. You have good performance, and then it is also a cost effectiveness. So these are some benefits of your cloud computing. Okay. Anyway, this we are going to discuss in the details in our next few lectures. Okay. Now come to this point. Now you can understand why it is in high demand. Okay, so whatever the benefits we have discussed so far, now you can take it all in mind, and then you will understand that why this cloud computing is in high demand, and this is going to boom the field. Okay, the demand for people to fill cloud computing roles is growing faster and faster, and it will go like that one. Okay, and if you have the right cloud computing skills, then you can find a meaningful job in the cloud computing. I will help you to understand all this part, what all the skills required, from where you have to start on that one to learn the cloud computing. And then when we talk about the variety of roles, okay, there are a lot of roles of that one. There's a cloud architect who design the complete architecture of the applications. How do we deploy the applications on the cloud? And you have a cloud administrator who can do the administration of your complete cloud computing. Okay, and then you have a cloud security professional. Then again, you have a normal software and support engineers as well. Those were maintaining the hardware and software which is running on the cloud for you. Okay, and high earning potential, obviously, because this is, as I said, this would be in a high demand. Okay, and when we talk about the salary or average salary when we, for the professional at a mid level, that means when we have experience of around 7 to 8 years of experience, then you can easily get a job of more than 20 to 20 lakh per annum. Okay, and this is a market that is predicted by some of the research organizations that as of today the market is 524 billion, okay, USD billion dollar, and then by 2030 it would be 1614. That means in next 7 years it is going to be multiplied in the threefold. Now you can understand the importance of this cloud computing. Okay, now the question, what to learn and from where to start, how to learn. Okay, so first part I have divided it in 4 parts, part A, B, C, and D. So first you have to understand the basic concepts of data center, which I have given to you. Then there is a basics of virtualization, because your cloud computing is completely based on the virtualization. Okay, so whatever the benefits that we have discussed so far, okay, and why it is cost effective, it is completely because of the virtualization, and that is the reason virtualization is called the base of your cloud computing. So just understand some basic concept of virtualization. I will post a video on that as well very soon. Okay, then learn some benefits of cloud computing. It is we have already discussed so far. Then inside the cloud computing, we have 2 important topics that you have to understand. What is the cloud computing deployment model? And when we talk about deployment model, we have a public, private, and hybrid. Okay, and when we talk about the cloud computing service model, then we have a IaaS, which is called infrastructure as a service, PaaS, which is called platform as a service, and SaaS, which is a software as a service. And this can be derived for more, like if you want to take the database on rental basis, then that can we say as database as a service. Okay, so understand this, the cloud computing deployment model and service model. It will not take much time for you to understand all of these things. Okay, anyway, I am going to post a video on this as well very soon. Okay, part B, you can understand the cloud service providers and their services. As I said, that all the services, whether it is a hardware, software, applications, and everything is available on the cloud computing, then there are a lot of cloud service providers as of today. For example, you have Oracle cloud, which is called OCI from the Oracle, Amazon cloud, which is called AWS, then there is a Amazon, IBM cloud, Google cloud, Salesforce, Rackspace, and there are many more cloud services providers are there as of today, and they are providing a different kind of services, whether it is related with the compute, which is means servers, and then you have a storage, database, application, security, ERP, analytics. So all the services are available on the cloud services. Okay, just read some top cloud service providers and what kind of a services they are providing. So this is a screenshot of AWS services, like what kind of a service they are providing for foundation services, for applications, for deployment and management. Like they have a compute where you can purchase the complete compute power, that means the servers, and then you can purchase the storage and content delivery. You can have a database, networking, admin and security, deployment and management for the applications, business analytics and business intelligence, application services, mobile services, enterprise applications. So whatever services you want, every services is available on your cloud computing on the rental basis. This is a model for the Oracle OCI. They have, similarly to Amazon, they have a different layers, like the infrastructure services, they have a data management services, applications, analytics, security, and then developer DevOps services. Whatever you want, you can just go to cloud service provider and then you can purchase that and start using that one. Okay, so now you can consider it how fast it is. If I will compare it with a traditional data center, then how much time it will take for you to set up a data center and then for application to be up and running. But when it comes to the cloud, you just need to purchase the services. You have to pay for that one, and then you have to log in and then start using the services, right? Now, how to learn and from where to start? Part C is how do I access cloud services for self-learning? Okay, so I would recommend you just go and create your free sign-up account for any of the cloud service providers. Okay, either from Oracle Cloud or for Amazon Cloud. Okay, just search for that particular service provider name and the free tier on the Google, and then it will land up to your page. For example, the screenshot that you are seeing, it is for the AWS. Once you will search in the Google for a free sign-up for account for the AWS, then you will see this screen. Okay, and then if you go for the IBM Cloud free tier services, then you will see the screen which is showing on the right side of this screen, and in the middle you have a Google services that you can create a free account. That means you have an option where you can choose for a free trial account from Amazon, Google, IBM, Oracle, and from many more cloud service providers. Okay, but only thing what you have to understand when you are doing a sign up for the free sign up for the services, then first before that one you have to understand what all services are free to use. Okay, because you may have to pay otherwise, because when you suppose that you have when you created a free account for the Amazon and they are allowing you to create a free compute, that means free virtual machine. Okay, and then you have selected the free virtual machines, but maybe the underlying the storage that you are going to attach to your virtual machine, that means that you need a storage as well, right, for virtual machine, right, for the storage, storing your content. So you may have to pay for the storage if you are going to use this apart from the free utilization. Okay, so before you can do the sign up, and then before that one you can go and check the type of offers that is available in the free account. Okay, and the part D, how do we use access cloud services? Okay, so far we have discussed about the data center, different kind of services, those are available in the cloud computing, but how do we access those services? Okay, so suppose that you have a data center in Singapore and I am sitting in India, right? Then how I'm going to access the services? Obviously with the help of internet. Okay, and internet, it could be a public internet, it could be a private line. That means if you have a secure data, like for a financial institute, they can have a secure private dedicated line till the data center. Or if it is not very secure, okay, it's not very critical data, which you can access over the internet as well. Okay, for example, we access the cloud consoles of our applications with the help of internet from anywhere. Right, and apart from that one, so you have a browser, so you access the SaaS applications and cloud console with the help of browser. SaaS is a software as application. That means, for example, that we sign up for our emails, right? We enter the email ID in the browser and then we do the sign up. We are not bothered about where this particular email application is running, where is the data center, how my emails, the data which is attached in my emails are stored, where it is stored, how it is getting access in the email. We don't bother about that one. We just do the sign up and start using that one. So we have a browser, we can do a sign up of our applications and we can access the cloud console. Apart from that, if you wanted to copy your files on the your cloud machines, you want to upload some code, you want to upload some software, install some software, copy and upload some other content, you want to access the servers, for that you have a different kind of a tools. Okay, so browser, as I said, it is for the accessing the cloud consoles. Okay, and SaaS services. And when we talk about a tool which is for accessing the PaaS and IaaS services, for that you have a remote desktop connection, like, okay, which is in your Windows as well, which you can use to access the Windows machines remotely. Then you have PuTTY, vCN server, WinSCP, FileZilla, Secure CRT. These are all the certain important tools that we use to access our servers remotely. Okay, those are deployed in certain data center in certain different locations. Okay, so this is all about the basic concepts of cloud computing, from where to start, from where you can do a sign up for the cloud computing resources, what you have to understand, what you have to learn by your own. Okay, and it is not going to take much time for you to cover the cloud computing if you follow the path that I have discussed. Okay, so if you think this video is useful for you, you can subscribe for my channel, because soon I will come up with few more lot of interesting videos. Thanks.